Coming up on this edition of MSU Sports Scene, we have a live interview with Wichita Falls Special Olympics Director Mike Strickland and Wellness Center Assistant Director Mike Richardson. The football team took on West Texas A&M for the homecoming game, and students remember MSU football player Robert Graves. All this and more coming up. Hello and welcome to MSU Sports Scene. I'm Jared Tuilangi. On Tuesday, September 19th, Midwestern State lost a friend and teammate. Robert Graves was a cornerback for the MSU football team and was a sophomore in general business. We go now to Sports Scene reporter Naomi Skinner for more on this story.
Thank you, Jared. Robert Graves passed away at Memorial Hermann Texas Medical Center in his hometown of Houston after sustaining a neck injury during the Mustangs game against Texas A&M Kingsville on September 16th. I spoke with some of his friends and teammates here at MSU, and here's what they had to say.
I saw it happen. I stood up on my seat and I stayed standing up, looking at him the whole time until he got on the ambulance and drove off. And it was so crazy because I feel like I knew it was a bad incident because I'm looking at him and I got a feeling this ain't good. He's still on the ground, not moving, and I'm thinking man, I don't know, it had to be a bad injury because Rob's a dog and he gonna get up from anything. He'll throw his head in there and get back up.
MSU rallied together to show their love and support for Graves and his family. On Monday, September 18th, they held a community gathering where over 700 people attended to write heartfelt messages for Graves while he was still in the hospital. After Graves passed and word spread throughout the campus, grief counselors were set up around the university at different times to be there for those in need. Then, on Thursday night, students as well as faculty joined together during a candlelight vigil to honor Graves in his memory. About 800 were in attendance.
So before, whenever Robert was on the team with us, he was always an inspiration. He was always hyping everybody up, making sure that the team was always, ready for whatever was coming next. After his passing, we still felt that bond that he created with us. It didn't leave. If anything, it made it stronger, and it brought the whole community together, not just the team. And so I think that is just a blessing in disguise that we're a stronger and better family because of him.
It really affected my game a lot, but it did hit me hard. The first week, it was hard. That's all I could think of. It wasn't the same going out to practice and competing every day. So after that, after the funeral and everything, it just built me up. It motivated me more. So now when I get through and I get on the field, that's all I think about is him and what he would want us to do. And I just work on that every day.
According to his teammates and friends, Robert Graves touched the lives of many, and his spirit, kindness, and memory will live on.
How was Robert? Rob was a character. The shortest person out of the whole group, but always alive. Is always picking you up when you down. Yelling when you don't even want to yell. It's in the morning time, he yelling all that. You like, hey Rob, just chill out. He's still happy, just going every time he goes. And being on the field with him was crazy also. All this energy, the interjectiveness in him, it just energized the whole team. But without him, it's a little hole missing, but we're gonna fill that hole for him.
I would describe him kind of like a little squirrel. He's always always quick. He's always quick moving, and when you see him, he's always he just does something. He's always real quick, to make you laugh, or real quick to bust a joke, or real quick to just do something. He's always quick. He's always going doing this, going doing that. That's how I would just think. I see him every time. He's just he does something quick. It's just funny.
Oh my gosh, Robert was great. Literally every day. So we're sitting in the equipment room, and Robert will come up and he'll start, oh, Aaliyah, I miss you. Where's my hugs? Literally every day, that boy did not miss a chance to give me a hug and ask me how my day was going, and literally was the light of my whole experience on this football team.
Most people know him for his smile. I know him as being the jokester. He's always cracking jokes on me. He called me Papa Nick.
I mean, before his passing, he was always energy. He was like a light bulb, and then after, it's kind of like he the same energy because, we're trying to live through him.
Different GoFundMe campaigns as well as a scholarship were set up by student government, MSU Athletics, and MSU to help cover the costs of the medical and funeral expenses. You can still find the links to the pages if you wish to donate on MSU's website. The football team and the university honor Gray's memory at the Family Day game by playing a tribute video, giving out number 24 stickers, having number 24 put on all the helmets, and holding up the numbers 2 and 4 after every touchdown or leading up to a kick return. They ended the game by doing 24 push-ups and bringing Gray's jersey back out onto the field. For Mustang News, I'm Naomi Skinner.
Robert Grays will be dearly.
And like I said, all we do is play for Rob, man. I know it was a win today, but it was an ugly win. But, we should get better every week.
For everybody out there, just keep y'all heads up. We taking this day by day. We're going to be stronger, better, and everything we're on out is 24. I promise we're going to make you happy, Rob. I love you, bro.
Just want to say I love you, Rob, and I'm doing it all for you now.
A few short words to describe Rob. Class act, class of his own. Just did stuff nobody else did. Always was uplifting, always smiling.
Robert Grays will be dearly missed. Once again, you can still make donations to these GoFundMe pages in order to support Gray's family. For more information, visit mwsu.edu/24strong. Back to you, Jared.
Thank you for that moving tribute, Naomi. The MSU women's volleyball team took on West Texas A&M on October 20th. Senior outside hitter Megan Bettis led the team with 10 kills, with sophomore Erin Richburg tallying 9. Senior libero Ariel Edwards had 21 digs, with senior setter Kristen Adudel dishing out 31 assists. The team closed out their first win against West Texas A&M in program history with a 3-0 sweep. Great job, ladies. The number 4 ranked MSU soccer team took on Dallas Baptist University on Saturday, October 21st, and had an impressive showing. The Mustangs remain undefeated with a 4-2 victory over the Patriots. Sophomore midfielder Ross Fitzpatrick led the way to victory with scoring 2 goals. The soccer team will take on Newman University on October 26th to keep their undefeated streak going. The football team hosted West Texas A&M for the homecoming game Saturday, October 21st. Junior quarterback Leighton Rabb completed 23 out of 31 pass attempts for 289 yards and 3 touchdowns. Senior receiver DJ Myers had a game-high 149 receiving yards on 8 catches with 1 for a touchdown. He also added a 14-yard touchdown run. The defense held the West Texas offense to only 228 yards for the game. Junior linebacker Drew Bolin led the team with 4 tackles and a sack and was named the LSC Defensive Player of the Week. The Mustangs won the game 45-3 to remain undefeated with a 6-0 record. Next, they'll head to Midland to take on Permian Basin Saturday, October 31st. In the past few weeks, MSU students teamed up with the Special Olympics of Texas for the Unified Sports League. Here's reporter Sterling Ellison with more on the story.
It was a perfect day for soccer. MSU students and Special Olympic athletes took to the soccer fields at MSU for a day of friendly competition. It was all for the United Sports League's 2017 soccer season. Texas Area 9 Director Mike Strickland says this league is important to students and the athletes who are participating.
It's really just seeing the Special Olympics athletes and students interact, and just how encouraging the MSU students are with our athletes. Our athletes are encouraging no matter what, but to see the MSU students, regardless of what team they're on, out here encouraging our athletes from the other team and even also on their own team is pretty powerful. It's pretty amazing.
Even MSU volunteers like senior nursing major Bree Eiper is excited for the opportunity to be a part of the Unified Sports League.
It's probably just seeing how excited they get when they get a goal or when they get a pass, or even when you get to say their name, they get really excited, and I think that's my favorite thing, is just seeing how excited they get even from a simple goal.
Eiper, who first volunteered for the United Sports League this year, looks forward to the opportunity to work with the Special Olympics program.
They are the most loving, caring people that you'll ever meet, and this is a great experience to help them, but also at the end goal, like you get to see all that love.
MSU Wellness Center Assistant Director Mike Richardson encourages students to volunteer for the United Sports League's upcoming next semester.
We will be holding basketball leagues in the spring semester, which will be just like our soccer league now. We'll also be involved with putting Special Olympics athletes in classes with regular with ordinary MSU students, getting them involved in that sense. So it's just a great opportunity for MSU students to get involved, build relationships, and really gain as much benefit from this as it is as the Special Olympics athletes do.
If you have any questions about the United Sports Leagues or volunteering for a league, go online to the MSU I'm Leagues website. For Mustang News, I'm Sterling Ellison.
Thanks, Sterling. Today, we're lucky to have Wichita Falls Special Olympics Director, Mr. Mike Strickland, and Wellness Center Assistant Director, Mr. Mike Richardson. Good morning, guys. Thank you for coming in for this interview. First of all, I would like to start with Mr. Strickland. Give us a little background about how exactly did you get into Special Olympics?
I was actually coaching in Burke Burnett High School when I needed to make a little more money, and so I was actually teaching in the special ed classroom and was looking to earn a little bit more money, and so started looking for jobs and saw that Special Olympics was having a job opening, and so that's how I came about being the area director.
Absolutely. Mr. Richardson, I'd like to ask you, as an assistant director of the Wellness Center, how does that benefit you getting to work with these Special Olympic events?
It's great. I oversee all of the MSU's rec sports, and that's a huge job duty of mine. So with our USL partnership with Special Olympics, obviously we include that as a rec sport for Midwestern, and so me overseeing all the rec sports, it's really great for me to be really hands-on, being out there every night, seeing the MSU partners interacting with the Special Olympics athletes. It's such a great time, and I'm just very fortunate I get to see that day in and day out.
Absolutely. So either you can take this question. How exactly did USL and Midwestern come into fruition to build that relationship and get these events going?
We had a phone conference with our chapter office, all the area directors, and how NIRSA, which is it National Intramural Recreation Sports?
National Intramural and National Intramural Recreation Sports Association.
Okay. It was talking about how they wanted to partner with Special Olympics and begin these unified programs at the college campuses. And they kind of shared some different college campuses across the nation that were already doing this, and I love the ideal, and so I had a pretty good relationship already with Midwestern State, and so I approached at that time the director of the Wellness Center and kind of shared the ideal with them, and they loved the ideal, and I told them that we would be the first program in the state of Texas to implement this program, and they liked that ideal too, kind of bragging rights. And I got a grant from the Junior League of Wichita Falls, $2,500 grant to buy sports equipment and trophies and stuff like that to get the program going, and so that's how it began.
Mr. Richardson, I know you're rather new here at the Midwestern, and you're the new assistant director over there at the Wellness Center. Can you talk about your experience with just getting to see all the Special Olympians and as well as the MSU students interact? Like, what's that experience been like for you?
It's been great, especially with me just recently graduating from my alma mater and coming here, just having just this great job I have. Really starting out this first semester, watching our MSU partners interacting with the Special Olympics athletes, just the great relationship they have. It's just made everything worthwhile in a sense, in my opinion. So it's been a great transition, just to say the least. I know a lot of recent graduates from college don't have that same experience. So once again, I'm very fortunate to have that. But no, coming in and night out with our soccer league, and then most recently our flag football game we had this past weekend. It's just, I mean, to be cliche, it doesn't get much better than that. Watching the joy coming from the Special Olympics athletes, which I know Mike sees as well, and then coming from our MSU partners, you know, maybe they kind of knew what they're getting into, but they didn't know the true satisfaction they get out of it, and then it makes everything great. So I've really enjoyed it, and it's made truly the job, along with a lot of other things that I do. It's made it a lot worthwhile.
Yes, sir. Mr. Strickland, so we were able to cover a little bit of the flag football game last Saturday. I believe it was against West Texas A&M. So Are there any other schools within the same sports conference, at least, that also are within the Unified Sports League? Or?
I believe Tarleton State is trying to get a program together. That's the only one that I know of in the Lone Star Conference. But there are some other college campuses across the state that are getting involved. I know there's 7 campuses that received a $1,000 grant from ESPN to continue these unified programs. Us and the Amarillo area were one, and I know that I believe UT Arlington is another school that some possibility there because of the distance. It's not very far from us, so the intent is to eventually have a tournament against everybody. So,
sounds great. That sounds exciting. Okay, to wrap it up, Mr. Richardson, other than the IM Leagues app, what is the best way for MSU students or any community members to get involved with these Special Olympic events?
Our main registration is through IM Leagues, and my advice is to really go online and go about the process that way, just because it works a whole lot better. We've had some glitches with our app before, just because the app's really good for showing your schedule, but actually registering, either truly coming to my office. I can't tell me how many students I've actually sat down with and either created them an account literally right in my office. It takes less than a minute, and while they're doing that, I mean, I'm getting to build a rapport with them and kind of getting their interest and stuff like that. So, best way to go about it is through IM Leagues. It's the best registration app to go through. But if you're having problems with that, just come see me at my office. I'm over at the Wellness Center, and I'll help you out in any shape or form.
Absolutely. I would like to thank both of you gentlemen so much for your time.
Thank you for having us.
And yes, that's it for this edition of MSU Sports Scene. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at MNG Media and like us on Facebook. Be sure to tune in next time for your sports updates.